It's amazing how 1 year can change my entire coaster ranking. I was expected to see a couple changes here or there, especially when we are introducing a new coaster, but I think my list has changed all around, regardless of Iron Gwazi. Busch Gardens Tampa has the most roller coasters of any park in Florida with 10. I'd also argue that they have the most well-rounded collection. Adding Iron Gwazi to their lineup was a great move by the park, filling in that much-needed airtime coaster. Well, I've gotten rides on Iron Gwazi, re-rides on many of their coasters, and I think it's time to update my ranking. Before we get to the list, do me a favor and click on that like button. Also, subscribe if you haven't already. Finally, you can follow me over at Instagram and TikTok. I post daily content, so go check it out. Number 10, Air Grover. Opened in 2010, built by Zero. This is a kiddie coaster, it's going to be ranked last. Enough said, moving on. Number 9, Sand Serpent. Opened in 2004, built by Mock Rides. This is a wild mouse roller coaster. Though it does serve as a nice family coaster for some of the younger coaster enthusiasts, it still feels out of place at Busch Gardens Tampa. I've said this multiple times now, but if I had my way, I would remove this attraction. Regardless, this is a fine coaster. If you've ridden one wild mouse, you've done them all. Number 8, Scorpion. Opened in 1980, built by Schwarzkopf. Braylon's first looping roller coaster. Oh, how far we've come since her first ride on Scorpion last year. This is a fun looping roller coaster. It's short but packs a nice little punch. The G-forces are strong, the helix is neat, and for being over 30 years old, the ride is still rather smooth. I moved Scorpion in ranking from last year's 6th to this year's 8th. Number 7, Tigris. Opened in 2019, built by Premier Rides. It may be a cloned attraction, but these Skyrocket 2 model coasters are lots of fun. The launch is neat, definitely more forceful than the swinging launch on Icebreaker. The ride has a couple moments of great ejector airtime, a solid moment of hang time with that slow-moving barrel roll, and lots of quick, snappy transitions. The only downside to Tigris is the seating and comfort collars. The comfort collars are uncomfortable, and just like Icebreaker, the rows are really smushed together, making this a tough ride to get in and out of. Tigris has fallen down in rankings. Last year was placed at 5th, now it's at 7th. Number 6, Kumba. Opened in 1993, built by Bolliger and Mabillard. My overall consensus still remains the same. This is a fine multi-looping roller coaster by B&M. The layout is typical, but the scenery is top-notch. That zero-G roll is still the best part of the ride. Overall, I found my ride this year to be less rough than last year's ride, meaning I walked off without a headache, so that's a plus. Last year, Kumba was ranked at number 7, now it's been moved up to number 6. Number 5, Cobra's Curse. Opened in 2016, built by Mock Rides. Some will cry foul, but Cobra's Curse is going to make it into my top 5. This is a fun family roller coaster that can provide a different experience every ride. This year, Braylon and I got some good spins near the end of the ride, which really solidified its ranking. The theming is top-notch, the spinning is fun, there's even some good forces near the beginning of the ride after the first drop. Cobra's Curse moves from number 4 to number 5. Number 4, Montu. Opened in 1996, built by B&M. I still consider Montu my favorite inverted roller coaster. This is a powerhouse of elements. Every inversion hits hard, producing strong G-forces, especially during that Batwing maneuver. The ride is also well-themed. I love all the trenches that this coaster dives in and out of, creating some nice foot chopper moments. Montu has moved from 2nd place to 4th. Honestly, places 5th through 2nd are really close and could change depending on the day. Number 3, Shikra. Opened in 2005, built by B&M. This has to be the biggest upset in ranking from last year. Shikra was originally labeled my number 1 coaster, now it's fallen to number 3. It's still a fantastic dive coaster, my favorite overall, but the top 2 roller coasters at BGT are so good that I just couldn't justify a number 1 slot for Shikra. My favorite moment has to be the first drop. It's a great moment of airtime. The inversion is fun, the ride is smooth, and who doesn't love watching that splashdown? The theming is also one of the best in the park. I could just stand over by Shikra all day watching this coaster in action. Number 2, Cheetah Hunt. Opened in 2011, built by Intamin Amusement Rides. Last year, I complained about the bad restraints and how they were digging into my shoulders for the entire ride. Well, I don't know what changed, but this wasn't as much of a problem this time around. Sure, they're still a little tight, but not a deal breaker like before. Cheetah Hunt is a fun, multi-launching roller coaster. I love the launches, they're so much better than Tigris. That pop-up into the top hat was a lot more forceful than I remember, giving some good airtime. The zero-G roll is still fun, it's a nice slow roll with fun hang time. Overall, Cheetah Hunt is a solid layout full of exciting elements and interactions. Also, it's the longest roller coaster in the park. Cheetah Hunt has moved from 3rd place up to 2nd place. Number 1, Iron Gwazi, opened in 2022, built by Rocky Mountain Construction. I think we all knew that Iron Gwazi was going to be ranked the best at BGT. This is an excellent roller coaster by RMC, full of strong ejector airtime, snappy maneuvers, and amongst the best paced roller coasters on the planet. Iron Gwazi never lets up from the moment that you take that first drop till you're flying into the brakes. The death roll maneuver is pretty fun, giving you some of that coveted upside down airtime. The only thing that I could say that needs improving, their operations. Iron Gwazi has some of the slowest dispatches in the park, but it's also a new coaster, so hopefully they'll find their rhythm soon. Well, that's going to do it for my 2022 ranking of all the roller coasters at Busch Gardens Tampa. For those who are curious, I'm going to display last year's rankings with this year so you can see how they've changed. Of course, this year we had Iron Gwazi, and that was going to change up this list regardless. Thank you for watching, please hit that like button, and if you're new to this channel, subscribe. That way you continue to get more great content brought to you by X Screen Thrills.